Hello guys, welcome to Dan's IT Network, and for today's video we'll configure a multi-layer switch. Okay, so as you see here on the network design, this is the multi-layer switch. Alright, well, a multi-layer switch is a two-in-one, meaning is it can act as a router and it can also act as a switch. Okay, so basically, it has the capability to, do a router's job and a switch job. All right, and that is good. And on this multi-layer switch, there are two computers connected. So on this side, okay, this PC, um, we will assign this on the VLAN 10, and we'll assign an IP address 192.168.10.10 on this PC. Okay, and on this side, this will be on the VLAN 20, and the IP address would be 192.168.20.20 on this PC. Okay, so as you see here, they are on a different VLAN, all right, and also they are on a different network. Okay, so using multi-layer switch, then we can have them communicate to each other. All right, but if this is just a switch though, then it cannot, allow them to, communicate in multiple networks and multiple VLANs. So that's why we'll be using a multi-layer switch to have them communicate. All right. So first in here, let's configure the IP address of the PC. All right. And also on this job, I put one router in here stands for ISP, the Internet Service Provider. Well, I put this router so that we can perform a network connectivity test. All right. So let's say if we're done in configuring the multi-layer, then we can try to ping from the PC going to the ISP. Okay. So let's configure the IP address of the computer. Let's go first in here. Desktop IP configuration, the 192.168.10.10, that mask, and the default gateway is 192.168.10.1. It should be the first host on the network. Okay, I'll close this and to this PC. Let's do it. Desktop IP configuration, it's 192.168.20.20. So that mask, okay, and default gateway 192.168.20.1. Okay, so you notice that I put the default gateway, the first host, okay, because we will assign those default gateway on this multi-layer switch. Okay, so here's what we need to do on this multi-layer switch. We have three goals. All right, our first goal is to create a VLAN. Okay, we'll create VLAN 10 and VLAN 20, and then second is we will assign this port, all right, to a VLAN 20, the gigabit 1/0/20, and this port gigabit 1/0/10 will assign it on the VLAN 10, and then last will assign an IP address to the interface VLAN 20. Okay, so it will serve as the gateway of this computer, which is the 192.168.20.1. And same thing in here, we'll assign the default gateway to the interface VLAN 10, okay, which is the 192.168.10.1. And let's do that. Let's click this multi-layer switch. All right, and by default the multi-layer switch is off. All right, so to turn it on, we just need to click this power, and let me drag it over here to turn on the multi-layer switch. Okay, and now we can go to the command line interface, and as you see, it's loading. Let's wait for it. Okay, there you go, and I'll hit enter to get started. I'll say no to this portion, then hit enter to get started again. I'll type enable, and then I'll go to the CompT, right? I'll type CompT to go to the global config mode, and then let's create VLAN. So VLAN N, okay, and I'll create another VLAN, VLAN 20, okay, and Control C. Let me save the configuration by typing right, and then show VLAN space brief. Okay, let me spread this for you to see. All right, so now we already created a VLAN, the VLAN 10 and VLAN 20. And next is we need to assign port. All right, so this this 1/0/10 will assign it on the VLAN 10, and on the VLAN 20 we'll assign the 1/0/20. Let's do that. Okay, so Comp T to go to the global config mode, and the interface, it's gigabit 1/0/10. Okay, and then switch port space mode access, and then switch port. I'll just hit the tab. Okay, switch port access VLAN 10. Okay, and then next exit, and I'll go to the next interface. I'll change this to 20. Okay, and then switch port mode access, and then switch port access VLAN 20. Okay, and Control C. Let me save the configuration by typing right, and then show VLAN brief. Okay, so as you've seen here, that the port now is already assigned to the VLAN 10. Okay, this 1/0/10, and this 1/0/20 is assigned on the VLAN 20. All right, so now let's assign the IP address. Okay, the default gateway for each VLAN. Let's go first on this VLAN 10. Okay, so I'll type here um, configure terminal. Okay, to go to the global config mode, and then interface space VLAN, okay, space 10. Right, and as you see, it's up now, and then IP address. This is the default gateway. Okay, 192.168.10.1 space 255.255.255.0. Right, and we don't need to type no shutdown because as you've seen here, it is already up. All right, the VLAN 10. Okay, but just to make sure, let's type no shutdown. Okay, all right, and exit. Let's go onto the next interface. I'll change this to VLAN 20. Right, it's up, and then IP address. Let me just change this to 20. Okay, there you go, and no shutdown. And Control C. Let me save the configuration. Okay, and I'll type here show run to see the configuration that we made. Okay, so from the top, right, and scroll down. So we assign this port. Okay, we made it as a switch port mode access, and we assign it on the VLAN 10. That's good. And on this one, port 1/0/20, same thing. Okay, and there you go. We assign an IP address to the VLAN 10. Okay. All right. Well, it automatically registered the MAC address though, but we did not, configure this. Okay. But anyway, that's good though. It automatically registered it, and we assigned the IP address. Okay, the gateway 10.1 on this VLAN 10, and on this interface VLAN 20. Okay, the gateway 20.1. Okay, for the VLAN 20. All right, well, this MAC address, this is not on the PC. All right, this is on the multi-layer switch. Okay, all right, and there you go. I'll close this, and now let's try to ping. Okay, let's see if it will work. So I'll open this computer command prompt, and I'll try to ping the next PC 192.168.20.20. Right, okay, as you've seen here, it's still not working, right? It's a request timeout. All right, so I'll press Control C, and let me try to ping again. All right, and I'll put in here dash T just continuously pinging. All right. All right, and I'll put this here, and let me open up this multi-layer switch. Let me put it here. Okay, and there you go. So as you seen here, it's a request timeout, right? So what I'm gonna do here to the multi-layer switch, I'll go to the configure terminal, all right? And I just have to type this command, IP space routing, okay? I'll hit enter, and you'll see. It's just still request timeout. There you go. You see now that's it's pinging, okay? So we using this command though, the IP routing though, then they can have now a communication to each other. All right, and now let's configure the ISP. Okay, let's assign this job IP address, and also we need a configure a default route to go to this direction. Okay, because this router it knows about this network. Okay, because it's connected to the interface, it doesn't know about this network case. That's why we need to put a default route. All right, and also we need to assign an IP address to this port. Okay, to the multi-layer switch, so that they can have a connectivity. Okay, all right, let's do that. I'll open this router, go to the command line interface, hit enter to get started, and then enable. All right, and then what's the port again? Gigabit 0/1. Okay, so COMT to go to the global config mode, then interface gigabit 0/1. I'll give it an IP address. It's 200. I'm sorry, it's 210.110.50.10. Okay. Space 255.255.255.0, and I'll type here no shutdown to turn on the interface. Okay, and I'll type exit, and I'm also going to create a default route. So IP route 0.0.0.0 space 0.0.0.0, and it needs to go out on this interface gigabit 0/1, gigabit 0/1. Okay, all right, there you go. And Control C. Let me save the configuration. I'll close this now. And now it's time for us to configure this IP address on this port, which is the gigabit 1/0/1. Let's do it. All right. So command line interface, and then hit enter to get started. Since I am already on the global config mode, I just need to type interface gigabit. Okay, what's the port again? 1/0/1. Okay. So 1/0/1. Okay. But since this is a switch port, all right, we cannot assign an IP address. Well, to assign an IP address, we need to make this as a non-switch port. Let's do that. So I'll type here no switch port. Okay, there you go. So now I can assign a IP address then. Let's do it. IP address 210.110.50. Should be the 11 space 255.255.255.0. Okay, and I'll hit enter. Well, it's already up, right? But just to make sure, let's type here no shutdown. Okay, there you go. And let me save the configuration by typing do space WR, and I'll close this. All right, so let's try to ping from this PC to the router. Okay, so command prompt, I will cancel this, and I'll try to ping again the 210.110.50.10. This is the ISP. Okay, try. I'm pinging this ISP. We have the correct IP address, right? There you go. All right, I'll do it again. We got here request timeout because of the MAC address registration, and it's good. So it's all about multi-layer switch. If you like this video, please do subscribe to my YouTube channel, Dance IT Network, to get more updates about Cisco CCNA. And if you have any questions, suggestions, or requesting for video tutorial, then you can email me at denseitnetwork@gmail.com, or you can put it on the comment section below. Thanks. Bye.